Hey there. So this video is not for everyone. If you are someone who's looking into growing your business or thinking of opening a business anytime soon in the future, or you are looking to be a chief executive at any top MNC, then this video is for you. Otherwise, I'd say just get out this video right now. It's not for you. So let's get started. What is the number one reason that I think businesses fail? I think businesses don't grow well. The main reason for that is scalability. Businesses don't scale so well. Now, first of all, let's talk about what is scaling. So, scaling is not just having more items on your menu if you're a restaurant, or increasing your staff, or just making some small kind of an expenditure. No, scaling would be if you increased the number of outlets you have. It would be incurring some high amount of costs, fixed costs especially. So what usually happens these days is businesses focus on growth so much that they forget what they have to look at before they grow. So usually what is scaling? First of all, let's say you open a new outlet, that is scaling. Now let's just take an example of what I mean by they don't scale well. Why does this happen? We'll come to it. But why exactly does this happen is this. Now just think about it. If you grow, you're bound to have competition, you're bound to have more and more competitors, and you will definitely try to remain competitive by incurring more and more expenses. Meaning, in the end, the percentage of profit you make, right, it'll be lesser as compared to the revenues. So first of all, let's look at margins. What are margins? In any business, revenue minus the cost is equal to profit. So what exactly is the profit? Divide the profit by the revenues, you get margins, right? So I hope this is clear for everyone and anyone won't have a doubt with this. Now what usually happens, which is normal for any businesses, as a business grows and scales, the margins start to fall slowly, right? Slowly is important. Usually what businesses experience is sometimes a drastic fall in the margins, which is not great. So let's take an example here. If I have a business and I have $500 in revenue right now and my margins are 10%, that means I make $50 of profit on it. But let's say I grow amazingly well, I start another outlet, and I, let's say, turn from $500 to $2,000 in revenue, but my margins slip from 10% to 5%. So 5% of $2,000 is $100, which is still double compared to my previous profits. This is what people think is right, but it's not. I was opposed to that. If I was making just $1,000 of revenues, let's say I increased from 500 to 1,000 by growing slowly, and I maintained my margins at 10%, I would still be making that $100 in profits. So why do you want to incur that additional effort? Why do you want to have more effort and bring more clients and more revenue to make the same amount of profit? Now there's a reason why you should not do that. A very simple reason is this. Not all businesses are the same, and not all businesses can maintain the revenues. Now look at Netflix, it can. You have monthly subscriptions coming in. Look at construction industry, you don't have repeat customers. You don't have people coming back and paying you again. It has to be completely different. You have to go and keep trying, right? So you will see what happened in India after the note ban was money was not moving. People were not ready to go out and invest in real estate. So those who had already purchased fixed assets, incurring fixed cost, that cost has gone now. They cannot recover it in any form apart from making good revenues. They were gone. Why did that happen? Because they did not have enough revenue to sustain. Now what exactly happens is, if in any business there's a direct cost. If let's take a simple example, if it's a restaurant, you have roughly 30% of your revenue in the form of costs. If you have $100 of revenue, around 30% of that $30 would be your direct material, meaning the cooking utensils, the gas, the raw material that is used, then vegetables, and if meat or whatever you're having, that is your direct cost. And apart from that, the salaries, the rent, the electricity bill, then if you have taken any debt for it, that's the interest expense. These are not at all direct costs, these are indirect costs. So usually businesses stop focusing on indirect costs that much. They try to keep on emphasizing on how to grow in terms of revenue, even in front of their investors and even in front of people. And that's great. Grow revenue, it's great. Maintain margins, then it's fine. If you can't maintain margins, it's really bad because you're putting additional effort in just to have the same amount of profit that you could have had without incurring that much of hassle. So what you can do here, let's first of all look at one more reason that we can look at. Forecasting expenses is where they go wrong. You will see in any investor presentation, people talk about a lot of revenues and a lot of growth in the revenues, X, Y, Z. You will have it being done on a very ground and minute level. You'll have it starting from the users, the number of users that are growing, every month's growth, the revenue per user, multiplying this and that and whatnot. You won't have that in terms of expenses. You will see people just putting in some random numbers they think that would be right. Usually what happens when companies go wrong is this. They overestimate their revenues and they underestimate their expenses. And that is precisely why they fail. So underestimating expenses, basically you didn't forecast them correctly. Forecasting expenses correctly is one important thing you need to do. Businesses often miss out on that. Cost accounting, is not forecasting expenses. Cost accounting is about understanding what the already incurred cost mixture is and what exactly happened. You're not looking into the future, you're just looking into the past. What happened is about that. So it's not going to help you. You need to have the foresight to see if XYZ amount is being put in this outlet, a new outlet is being opened as a restaurant, how much revenue is going to be growing. You have to be unoptimistic at first. People usually end up being too optimistic in front of investors just to get the investment. So the problem here is you cannot grow, you cannot maintain the level of revenues you're supposed to just because your business model is not like that. You cannot deliver good returns to your investors and we basically fail. Only 2% of businesses can do the following two correctly: exploit and explore. Only 2%. Now what is exploit and explore? For any business, if you want to be successful, you need to exploit the already existing knowledge with you at a very good level to be better than the rest. But that doesn't work forever. In the short term, it's amazing. If you look at the long term, exploration is what is important. What is exploration? Innovation, basically. You look at how you can go into other areas, how you can grow beyond what you already have, because the competition is going to do that. New and new things keep coming. You look at Xerox, look at so many examples are out there that were so successful, but they were so successful that they actually didn't see that they were bound to fail if they didn't change. And they didn't change, they failed miserably. So exploration and exploitation is a combination. You need to innovate, that needs cost because you don't know what you're going to find in the future. You cannot just keep just throwing money because you don't know if you're going to find something or if you're not. So that is one thing people need to understand correctly, in which direction to innovate and search, because it's not at all cheap. And exploitation, again, is not cheap. So both of them need to be mixed correctly, and only 2% businesses can do that properly. And that's where I'm talking about growth and scalability not being correct, because these both are responsible for growth in revenues as well as profitability. People need to focus on expenses more than they do. So that is about why people fail usually. But here is one amazing thought. Just look at this. Before McDonald's and all these chains entered the business, most restaurants used to wait till the end and collect their check at the end after dining experience was complete. Now people are paying beforehand. Who said that you're supposed to only connect it afterwards, right? So McDonald's, or let's say any fast food chain that was with that, or just that just broke that norm, made it big. Why? The reduction in the number of waiters was a direct reduction in the cost. You will not see waiters at McDonald's. You will see the people who prepare the food being the ones who also take the orders, directly reducing their expenses. You don't have to continue doing the same thing. That's basically what a norm is. Norm actually is an abbreviation for normal. So if you want extraordinary results, you have to do something extraordinary. You cannot do something ordinary. So break the norms, and you will see most businesses that broke the norms and reduced their costs significantly are successful today. Why? Because other people followed them. It became basically like they were the pioneer behind it. So first of all, if you have the first mover advantage, that's fine. If you still don't have it, try to break the norms. Try to break the industry norms. I'm not saying break any laws. No, we usually tend to think in the legal barrier or technological barrier and all that is fine. But that's just thinking in the box. Thinking outside the box is actually breaking the norm, not just thinking inside the box in a very amazing or creative manner. No. So you will see such examples out there in abundance where norms were broken and extraordinary results were achieved. But also make sure that you don't scale too fast and don't go out of control, because even those that broke the norms and went ahead and got successful came down in no time just because they let the success get to their head. Now this may sound motivational. No, success usually have this one bad thing: it makes you believe you won't fail, you will not fail, and then you forget to change, you forget to keep continuously changing, because change is something that needs to be happening at any business level. You cannot just be one way and keep going the same way. You look at Facebook, Instagram, the way they have changed since inception, despite having such amazing and strong business models, right? So thank you for watching this video, guys. The number one reason why businesses fail is they don't scale properly, and it can be avoided by having a good mixture of exploitation and exploration and keeping your expenses under check and maintaining your margins. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. This is Wealth Workout. Peace out.